This is Tee to Green, Central Ohio's premier golf show. Now here's your host, recipient of the Lifetime Achievement Award by the Southern Ohio PGA of America and Hall of Fame, the Fan's own Skip Mosic.
And hi again, everyone. Good morning and welcome into another edition of Tee to Green here on The Fan. The forecast is not great if you have golf plans, but hopefully you'll get a window to get those in if you do. Another very busy week in the golf world. The PGA Tour is outside of Dallas with the Nelson. Scotty Scheffler just rolling so far this week. We'll check in there in a bit and visit with longtime golf writer Gary Van Sickle from SI.com. The PGA Professional Championship was this past week. Congratulations to Bob Sowards, Director of Instruction up at Kinsale. Bob earned one of 20 spots that will be teeing it up at the PGA Championship at Quail Hallow in a couple of weeks. We'll talk with Bob about that. And as always, we have another great golf prize package that someone will pick up this morning. No Twitter contest this week, so stay tuned. We'll have details on the giveaway coming up shortly. And part of that giveaway is a gift card to check out the Fairways Columbus. We will chat with Scott Stender at the Fairway later this hour about TrackMan, the great simulators they have at the Fairway, and a couple of neat events they're having later this month. Well, you know, we always love to talk technology on this show, and along those lines, first up with us this morning, our old friend Rod Koch from Titleist, whose golf balls are also a part of our weekly giveaway. And Rod, let's start with those golf balls. A new line of Pro Vs are out this season. Tell us about them.
Sure. Again, Kip, thank you for having me. It's always fun to get on here, and especially when it's a Pro V year. We change these every 2 years. We update them, for the new technology in the clubs and the new techniques, and it's always fun. This is the 25th year of Pro V, and what that ball has been able to do in golf, and I think, everybody sort of understands that, 70% of the people playing for a living play that golf ball and trust that golf ball. So we have a responsibility to those people that this next generation has to perform better and has to be higher quality. When we do these, we've had, again, 13 chances to update this very, very important ball, and each time we go to our players first and say, hey, we know you like this ball, but if you could, what would you change? And almost every person says, first and foremost, don't screw it up. I love how it is. And then we have to dig in a little bit and say, well, yeah, if you could do something, what would you do? And we always get down to some finely tuned point of, hey, I'd like a little bit more spin around the greens. I'd like some spin on my second shots, but don't mess up the spin on the driver. Don't mess up the speed of the golf ball. And that's what they came back to us with this time. And then we go into the R&D lab, and they make up prototypes to try to do this and come up with, approaching 100 prototypes in the lab that we dial it down to about 6 or 8, and then we take those to our players and evaluate those on the golf course. But it's one thing to perform in a lab, but it's another thing to perform for the players. And that's sort of the process we've had a lot of success with over the last 25 years.
Well, how much time goes into the development of these, Rod? I mean, are they even working on the next one as this latest is being unveiled?
They have prototypes right now for the next generation ball in 2027. It takes that long to test it in the lab, to research materials, to apply for patents, all of that stuff. So they're definitely working on 2027 right now.
We're chatting with Rod Koch from Titleist this morning, Tee to Green here on The Fan. And, Rod, the biggest question we get, I don't know the answer to it. You explain it to everybody. This is what you do for a living. What's the biggest difference between the Pro V1 and the Pro V1X?
Sure. We kind of simplify it down into flight, feel, and spin. Because all of those balls, both of those balls, including the left dash, are cast urethane, which is great performing around the greens. They have a casing layer which creates speed off the tee, and they just perform on all shots. So we back it down to flight, feel, and spin. Pro VX and left dash are higher flighting balls. They peak higher, they come in steeper, they carry a little bit further, lower percentage of roll. Pro V is more of a mid-flight. Spin, Pro VX is a higher spinning ball. Pro V is a mid-spinning ball. Left dash, while it's the similar flight to X, it's a super low spinning ball. So that's how those two differ. And then feel, Pro VX and Left Dash would be that firmer feel. Pro V would be that that mid, kind of a little bit softer feel. So what we encourage guys to do when they're testing balls or looking at balls is, pick out those shots. We fit the ball to the iron, basically. If you fit the ball to the iron, maybe you hit a lower flight, so that higher flighting would help you carry it a little bit further, but more importantly, come in steeper and have access to more pins. Then we kind of fit the driver and the other clubs around that. So I would encourage, if people were out testing balls, your scoring shots are primarily with your irons. So pick the ball with the right flight, with the right land angle that stops the way you want it to into and around the greens.
Well, Rod, while the Pro Vs are awesome, there are other golf balls in your line. Tell everybody about the AVX, the Tour Soft, Velocity, and True Feel.
Sure. We sort of separate the balls into the performance category. If you're really just looking, hey, I want to shoot my lowest score, it's one of those three balls. It's Pro V, Pro VX, and Left Dash. We have other balls we kind of consider preference. Hey, I'd like a matte finish ball. I'd like a super soft ball. I'd like, I don't want to pay $55 for Pro Vs. So those preference, we try to make a ball for every kind of preference category as well. AVX would be that next step down, almost as good as Pro V, but as a TPU coating, it's a little bit lower price, or TPU cover, it's a little bit lower price. And then we step down to a Tour Soft, to Velocity, and then down to True Feel. And each ball sort of, hits a price point, and it's the best performing ball at that price point.
Well, Rod, we'll have you down in studio later this summer and do a whole show about everything that's available. I love talking about this technology, but real quickly, just the latest on these GT metals. The GT1 for what you're saying, moderate swing speed. That's going to excite me.
Sure. So we came out with the GT metals line. GT meaning generational technology. So pretty bold statement there. It's our first foray into that multi-material. We've kind of maxed out what we could do with titanium, so we're bringing in other materials. Really, really cool product. It's the #1 driver on tour, and it's been that way for 6 years, but it continues with the GT. Really excited about the extension of the line into the GT1 product. So the 1 product is right up your alley, Skip. It's in that moderate, quote-unquote, moderate speed category. So it's designed to be overall lighter, 45 to 50 grams overall weight lighter, with the same swing weight that a normal club has. It's designed to keep the ball in the air. It's designed to be max MOI. So all of those things that 90 mile an hour and below club head speed, which is about a third of all golfers, require, that GT1 line, driver, fairway, and hybrid, are all completely designed for that person. And it's really exciting to kind of foray into that average player category.
It's been a while since I've heard anyone mention a 2-wood. I mean, my dad always hit a 2-wood off the tee for years. Tell us, though, about the GT 280. I guess the terminology now references a mini driver.
Yeah, it's that's sort of popped up over the last few years, and I'll remember when I was a kid playing a 2-wood as well. But as people truly look at their score, how what's the best way to score? Sometimes this product comes into play, meaning the GT280 is a 280cc club, which, to give your listeners an example, 460 is the max. That's what most drivers are. A standard 3-wood would be about 175 to 190 cc, so it's kind of right in that middle. It's 43.5 inches. It's sort of a technology of the driver and the fairway wood, but it's a really cool product because it's for a couple people. It's for either a really good player, a dedicated golfer, 15th club in their bag, meaning, hey, they might be going to play a tight golf course. They may, it may just fit the golf course. The other person is a guy like me. I struggle a little bit with the driver, keeping it on the planet. I hit my 3-wood pretty good, and I hit it off the tee a lot. So now, for me, it becomes my tee club, and the way they've designed it, it's designed where you can hit it off the fairway. So for those, 1.5 shots I hit with my true 3-wood off the fairway, I can hit this and get away with it. But now I have a much more friendly club off the tee that keeps me in the golf course.
Well, if you're into this stuff like I am, again, I encourage you to look at Titleist.com and then on their online learning lab. I mean, all kinds of great material as far as how this stuff works, the development, and more. Rod Koch from Titleist. Rod, we love talking about this stuff. We'll have you down to do an hour in studio here with us later this summer to talk about all the goodies and more, okay?
Can't wait. Thanks, Skip.
Let's switch gears now. PGA Tour outside of Dallas this week for the Nelson. Let's check your leaderboards and get you warmed up with some chip shots.
97.1 The Fan's Tee to Green Chip Shots, presented by BMI Federal Credit Union.
TPC Craig Ranch in McKinney, Texas, the site of the CJ Cup. Byron Nelson, long weather delay Friday really put things behind. Half of the field still finishing up their second round this morning, but it's been all Scotty Scheffler the first 2 days. 61-63 has Scheffler at 18 under par, leading by 6. Scotty playing lights out on the front 9. 29-30 the first 2 days on that side, and says it's good to be home after missing this event a year ago.
Was able to take advantage of the holes I needed to on the front 9, like 5 and 6 are holes you got to take advantage of, and 9 as well. And yeah, I mean, it's a ton of fun for us to be able to play in front of the fans here at home. Jordan and I love playing here this week, and this tournament has meant a lot to us over the years, and so it's really good to be here this week playing again. And obviously last year I was missing for some pretty good reasons. I wasn't too sad about what was going on in my life at the time, but I obviously miss being here and excited to be back.
Alone in second at -12 is Sam Stevens, who says Friday was a really long day, but it was good to finish the first 2 days bogey-free.
Teed off early. I teed off a long time ago. We finished. I drove the ball a little bit better today. My swing has just felt okay yesterday, but today it was pretty free and hit a lot of nice shots. I made a few putts. I putted really well yesterday. I didn't putt quite as good today, but still putted well. So, it was good. This course there's a lot of birdie opportunities, and I've done a good job of not making any mistakes. No bogeys through 36 holes, so just take advantage of the, gettable holes and kind of stay clean with the card, and you can have some good rounds out here.
Nice story this week is Cameron Champ, who was the last man to get into the field as an alternate on Wednesday. Champ currently at -7 and says he's trying to take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, I knew I was within a couple alternates coming in on Wednesday. Then I got the call, I think, around 1:30 or 2 yesterday. So then I packed up everything and got up here around 9 o'clock. And today just had a little longer warm-up just to kind of get somewhat used to the greens. But yeah, no, it's definitely been a interesting 2 days, that's for sure.
Again, all chasing Scotty Scheffler heading into the weekend. Scheffler leads by 6. Elsewhere this week, Korn Ferry Tour is in Mexico. Higher than normal scoring so far. 4 players tied for the lead at -6. Davis Chatfield, Shad Tootin, Bryson Nimmer, and Zach Bouchot share the lead. Former Buckeyes Neil Shipley and Ryan Armour are both at -1. They're 5 back. PGA Tour champions at the Woodlands, Texas. Weather a factor there Friday as well. Mike Weir -5. He leads there by 1. LPGA is in Utah. Heron Yu -14. Your leader by 2. PGA Tour Americas in Peru. Davis Lamb, David Perkins, and Hunter Walcott are at -10. They lead by 1. Walcott received a slow play penalty during yesterday's round, but still in good position heading into the weekend. Former Buckeye Maxwell Moldovan finished at -1 and misses the cut. College golf, congratulations to Ohio State junior Kari Hollenbaugh, who was medalist in a U.S. Open qualifier yesterday at New Albany Country Club and will play in the U.S. Women's Open at Erin Hills later this month, so congrats to her. The Buckeyes will be hosting an NCAA regional coming up next weekend at Scarlet. Your leaderboards were brought to you by BMI Federal Credit Union. Visit them today at bmifcu.org. Coming up, will there be changes to the format of the Tour Championship this year? We'll discuss that and more with longtime golf writer, now with SI.com, Gary Van Sickle, next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Score a hole-in-one when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union, your CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union for the past 7 years in a row. Enjoy credit card rates lower than the national average and special rates on balance transfers when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. For more details, visit bmifcu.org/visa.
Looking to up your golf game this summer? Swing into the Fairway, Columbus' premier indoor golf facility, featuring state-of-the-art TrackMan simulators, a spacious clubhouse vibe, and world-class service. It's the perfect place to play, train, or host your next event. Choose from over 350 courses worldwide, or fine-tune your swing with TrackMan's advanced range options, the same tech the pros use. Located in Upper Arlington, skip the long drive and grab a summer range pass today. The Fairway. Golf elevated. Are you looking for the best golfing experience in Central Ohio? Then look no further than the Virtues Golf Club in Nashport. The Virtues Golf Club was voted as the #1 public golf course in Ohio, and Golf Digest ranked Virtues as the 65th ranked public course in the country. Now offering on-site housing, the Virtues Golf Club is a modern design course mixed with classic features you'll love. Come see what's new and take in the scenery at Ohio's best public golf course. For more information, visit thevirtuesgolfclub.com.
Save big money at Menards. Get your grass growing thick and green with Scott's Thicker Lawn Grass Seed Mix. Its 3-in-1 solution of grass seed, fertilizer, and soil improver is formulated to help your thinning lawn grow green and covers up to 1,200 square feet. Hurry into the Menards Garden Center to save big on Scott's Thicker Lawn Grass Seed. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Bishop and Friends.
I cannot tell if you just describe certain parts of our town or the Everglades. I don't know where people are walking around with snakes around their neck saying, "You want to pet my snake?"
Bishop and Friends, sponsored by Diamond Seller.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on The Fan.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 2 free with your card. Limit 8. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hurry up, dude. The game's about to start.
Nothing beats spending the day watching the game with your buddies.
Dude, I'm literally right here. Let's do this.
Which is why a shelter insurance renter's policy is key to your winning game plan. It protects things your landlord's policy doesn't.
Dude, where's your TV?
What? No way, dude.
Like that flat screen TV that just got stolen. To draft an agent for your team, visit shelterinsurance.com. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
You had a solid retirement dream. Sell your home in a few years, bank the equity, downsize, and travel. But with an unpredictable economy and the future feeling uncertain, you're wondering if that equity will still be there when you're ready. What if you could bank that equity right now? With Truehold, you can sell your home for its current value, so you can access your equity today. You can bank the cash now and stay in the home you love with an easy standard lease. Truehold even covers property taxes, insurance, and repairs. And since Truehold hands over your equity in cash now, it's yours to do whatever you'd like. Don't let a shifting economy put your hard-earned equity at risk. Visit Truehold.com and receive their competitive offer on your home in just 48 hours, based on its current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without moving. That's Truehold.com.
Buttery cuts and making putts. Sometimes you're listening to Tee to Green with Skip Mosic on The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome back, everybody. We have another terrific golf prize package to give away this week. We have golf to go play out at the Virtues. We'll be out there in a couple of weeks. Looking forward to that. We have a gift card for you to check out the Fairway Columbus on Henderson Road in Upper Arlington. Pretty cool place there. Balls from our friends at Titleist. Plenty of fan goodies we'll throw in there for you this week as well. No Twitter contest this week, so stay tuned. We'll have details in this week's giveaway shortly, and your chance to make this great prize package yours.
This is Backspin. Tee to Green Backspin.
Joined for a few minutes now by longtime golf writer, now with SI.com, Gary Van Sickle. And Gary, nice piece last week on the best players to have never won a Masters. I love stuff like this because it makes for great conversation. You had Lee Trevino at number one. Let everybody know why he tops your list.
Well, he's such a Hall of Famer. He won all the other majors multiple times. And he just racked up, but I think he had 29 or 30 wins on the tour. He was just one of the great players, and I know Jack Nicklaus has said I forget if Jack said he was the best ball striker ever he saw, or he and Hogan were the two best, but he was in a class by himself, and, Lee just, the whole situation there rubbed him the wrong way early on in his career. He felt like an outsider as a Mexican-American. And he went to Augusta in the 70s, and he felt out of place. And he let it bother him. He never got over it. He was looking for reasons to feel victimized or whatever. And the golf course didn't really suit him, but he said later that he could have played it. He just didn't let himself get into it. So I know that's a regret of his, that he couldn't fix his attitude to let himself play well there and compete. So he's a true Hall of Famer who did everything there was to do in golf except win the Masters.
Probably no surprise that you had Greg Norman at number two, but are there any others, I guess, sprinkled on that list that may surprise some folks?
Well, I maybe should have had Tom Kite on there. How do you make the list, Skip? Are you going to go by the most wins, the most times a guy was in contention at the Masters? Do you go by how many other majors they won? I mean, honestly, Colin Montgomery would have been on the list, but I decided you had to have won a major to be on the list of the guys who should have won a Masters. So I left him off, but when I looked at it, Justin Rose, I decided, had to rank a lot higher than he would have. I think I put him fifth or sixth, and I wasn't sure I was even going to put him on the list until I looked at his record and how often he's been close. 2 runner-up, 2 playoff losses at the Masters, and near misses in other places. He really is. There's a guy, he could have 6 or 7 majors in his career had things gone better. Another guy is Brooks Koepka. I think it's easy to forget how many times, he won a lot of majors, but he's been up there in the Masters a few times. And I think, Payne Stewart surprisingly never really came that close to winning a Masters, although he played well in the other majors, won a couple. And, he's just a guy that we think of with the U.S. Open, and his career was cut short. Would have been nice if he'd had another 6 or 8 tries at it. There's a lot of guys you could argue. There might be a more interesting list of guys who won the Masters who maybe you shouldn't have, or you didn't expect them to, like a Vijay Singh or Sergio Garcia.
Last thing on Augusta, Gary, can always count on Van Sickle coming up with a story I've never seen anyone or recall anyone write about before. Tell us about Berkman's Place.
Oh, it's crazy. The first year it opened, I've never been in there, and most of us haven't. It's an exclusive high-end luxury hospitality suite with a high ticket price. I think it's $10,000, and that gets you 10 guests. A friend of mine and his wife got a one-day pass on Monday, and the place is just incredible. They've got their own merchandise shop, and my friend and his wife went through there first when they got there at 9 o'clock in the morning. Well, first they pull in the parking lot, and they see these people walking out carrying stuff, and they're like, what's going on here? And then looking, it's like, look, guy looks like he's carrying a garden gnome under each arm, and they had no idea that these garden gnome items at the Masters are like a thing. That was news to them. I don't know why they're a thing, just like I never knew why Tickle Me Elmo or the Cabbage Patch dolls were a thing. But if you can't get them, if they're hard to get, it becomes a thing. So it's a thing, and so they didn't get one, but they did go in the shop, and I asked he and his wife how much they spent, and his wife giggled and she said, $3,500. Like, well, they're buying some $495 cashmere hoodies. But there's a putting course. They have replicas of several greens where you can have putts like on the, that resemble the real course. They have all these restaurants you can dine in. And my buddy's story had kind of a not great ending. They were there. They hadn't had breakfast. They ate. There was things to do. They were in lines to shop. That took a while. Well, by 11:15 on Monday, there was an evacuation order, so play was stopped and fans had to evacuate the rest of the course. Now, the Berkman's Place people could stay at Berkman's Place. But to shorten the story at this point, like 2 hours later, they decided the course was going to be closed for the day and never reopened. So my buddy's line was, I waited 50 years to get to the Masters. I'm 50 yards away from the fifth fairway, and I never set foot in the course. I was that close. So he went to Berkman's Place, but he still hasn't been on the actual golf course at Augusta National. So I felt bad, but I'm sure he's going to enjoy those cashmere hoodies.
It was a fun read, no doubt. Gary Van Sickle, our guest this morning, Tee to Green here on The Fan. Gary, supposed news from the most recent Players Advisory Board on the format for the FedEx Cup Final, most notably the elimination of staggered scoring to start. You like, dislike, or maybe you have some other suggestions to add?
Well, I think over the years we've come up with a million ways to do it. I like the staggered start only because it solved the scoring issue with the points. I always felt bad. Steve Sands was really good at math from the Golf Channel. His mom was a math teacher. And he's out there with a whiteboard having to, remember the old days, he's got to, wipe the thing and redo and add the numbers, and they kept changing. At least with the staggered start, as soon as everybody's played one hole, you got a leaderboard. That is awkward. I don't know why just getting to Atlanta isn't a reward, and everybody starts over. They have this perception that they were trying to copy the NASCAR model, and they wanted the guys who had a great years to have an advantage the last week. And really, what they wanted was to make sure the big names were probably going to win the thing. What they didn't want was the old situation where, when there were two separate tournaments, Tour Championship and the FedEx Cup, and you might have different winners. Remember when Bill Haas won a playoff, and he's getting a trophy from Fincham for winning the Tour Championship, and the commissioner says, congratulations on winning the Tour Championship, and Bill Haas says, well, who won the FedEx Cup? Because he didn't know because of the point system, and Fincham goes, oh, you did. He goes, oh, great. He didn't know. So you don't want that. Well, I think just starting from scratch, you got a shot at $15 million. What's wrong with that? I don't think you have to reward guys for having a great season. The reward is you got to Atlanta with a shot at $15 million. Let everybody start from a level playing field and go from there. I think that's an improvement over what they had, but they've always been hung up on this career achievement, season-long achievement thing, and I never was into that. I mean, honestly, you're playing for $15 million, you could put 10 Korn Ferry Tour guys in there, and it would be just as exciting because they're playing for $15 million. So I'm all in favor of that. People have suggested match play, but TV hates match play because they don't know when it's going to end, and they don't want somebody to win 7 and 6, and they got to fill an hour. So I think starting from scratch, I think that's a great idea.
Gary Van Sickle. Fans can check your work out at si.com. Gary, we always appreciate your time. Thanks for hopping on, and thanks for the stories, okay?
You got it, Skip.
All right, let's go ahead and give away this week's prize package. Caller number 9 right now, 614-821-9710, 614-821-9710. Caller 9 will get to go play out at the Virtues on Us, some balls from Titleist, a gift certificate to check out the Fairway Columbus, and some awesome fan goodies. Caller number 9 right now will be our winner. And speaking of the Fairway, we will head there next and hit the range with Scott Stender from the Fairway Columbus. That's next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Oh, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Are you looking for the best golfing experience in Central Ohio? Then look no further than the Virtues Golf Club in Nashport. The Virtues Golf Club was voted as the #1 public golf course in Ohio, and Golf Digest ranked Virtues as the 65th ranked public course in the country. Now offering on-site housing, the Virtues Golf Club is a modern design course mixed with classic features you'll love. Come see what's new and take in the scenery at Ohio's best public golf course. For more information, visit thevirtuesgolfclub.com.
Hi, here are some ways to listen to The Fan. You can download the Fan app or listen at home on your smart speaker or open up the iHeartRadio app or hold your head out the window and hear Common Man scream. Happy listening from the Dopes at The Fan.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Wendy's has this new Cajun Crunch chicken sandwich. And to be honest, I'm kind of crushing hard on this Sammy. It's packed with bold Cajun flavors and topped with crispy onions for a satisfying crunch. All on Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. It's honestly kind of my dream sandwich. I hope it likes me back. For a sandwich you'll love, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
Welcome to Tire Discounters. Oh, hiya, Phantom.
Mike, I think I saw a fox on my way in.
Oh, that was the Carfax Carfox. He was congratulating us on our Carfax Top-Rated Service Center Award.
I have always rated Tire Discounters at the very top.
Oh, thanks. So does Carfax. And not just for tires, but for all our services, too.
Alignment, brakes, shocks, and struts, and more.
Yes, sir.
But, Mike, do you think people believe Carfax over me?
Well, you are the Phantom tire buyer.
Exactly.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Aaron, which brand of air conditioner is the most energy efficient?
It's the one that's had its outside coils cleaned correctly.
Well, I can wash those off with a garden hose, right?
No.
Why not?
Humidity mixes with dust and pollen to create a microthin film of sticky paste that gets baked onto those hot outside coils.
And that baked-on stuff keeps my coils from releasing their heat into the atmosphere.
Which means your system has to run longer, which uses a lot more energy and it shortens the life of your air conditioner.
Get Eco.
ECO.
How do we get that baked-on stuff off?
Remove the exterior shroud, then spray the coils from the inside out with a special eco-friendly solvent.
Can I rinse the solvent off with a garden hose?
Yeah, but only from the inside out.
Or I could just pay Eco to do it.
Get Eco.
ECO.
Eco doesn't take shortcuts. We do it the right way every time.
Get Eco professional coil cleaning for just $468.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We're expecting cloudy skies and scattered rain showers as we go throughout the day today. Temperatures around 60, cooling down to the 50s here for tonight, with more rain showers possible during the overnight hours. And then we'll see the chance for rain showers again here on our Sunday. A few thunderstorms are possible in the afternoon with highs into the 60s. And the rain chances will continue into Monday and Tuesday with highs in the 60s. I'm meteorologist Aaron White with your 10 weather impact forecast here on 97.1 The Fan.
This is Tee to Green with Skip Mosic on the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Welcome back, everybody. As always, thanks for tuning in. Congratulations to Mike from Columbus. Mike was caller 9, picks up golf out at the Virtues, gift card to the Fairway Columbus, balls from Titleist, fan goodies, and more. So congratulations to Mike. We'll have another prize package for you coming up next week, so stay tuned for that. Right now, it's time to hit the range.
You are listening to Tee to Greens on the Range.
On the Range is brought to you by the Fairway Columbus on Henderson Road in Upper Arlington as we hit the simulated range with Scott Stender from the Fairway. And Fairway's such a cool place, Scott. So much more than just a facility with simulators. Tell everybody about the Fairway and what makes it stand out.
Yeah, thanks, Skip. Happy to be here. Yeah, so, the Fairway is about 7,000 square foot facility. Got 7 TrackMan simulators, which, as you know, is what, the pros on the tour are actually using to hone in on their games. But like you said, what kind of sets us apart is really the experience that we offer. We've brought on a great team that provides top-level service, have a full bar available, have really done a lot to try to maximize, that feeling of being in a clubhouse versus, that of a driving range or some of the other simulator facilities out there.
You mentioned TrackMan. I'm amazed at how TrackMan has really improved over the years and how it's changed for venues like the Fairway there. What do you, and I guess what do your customers like the most about it?
Oh, man, the TrackMan is awesome. They've been great partners to work with. First and foremost, if you're coming in to train, it calculates over 40 different parameters, including, club speed, face-to-path ratio, even impact location on the club face, which really helps you, get more out of a training session than you would at a standard range. And then I think the other thing, which most people probably enjoy the most, is the 300-plus courses that are available to play. And that includes Scioto, Murrayfield Village, including some of the fan favorites like St. Andrews and Pebble Beach.
Yeah, those are always really cool to check out. Multiple bays available, but, Scott, also a great private room for groups, parties, etc. Tell everybody about that back room.
Yeah, the back room has a TrackMan simulator in it, and it holds about 10 people. We've been, really blessed to have the opportunity to host a number of events in there, but right outside of the private room is what we call our clubhouse area, which is right outside the bar that can host even larger events. So, we've been able to rent out the entire facility or just, peel off the private room and let events kind of, meander between the clubhouse and the private room as well to still get that golfing aspect as part of their event.
Great location there on Henderson Road in Upper Arlington. And speaking of events, Scott, you've got a couple of big ones coming up this month. Let's start with the First Tee alumni on May 13th. Let everybody know about that.
Yeah, it's really cool. AWS Sports Lab has partnered with us and First Tee to bring this to the Fairway. And on May 13th, they're going to have a 2-part session. The first part is the Sports Lab, where, they're really kind of highlighting the technology and how it's leveraged in the game of golf today, how AWS, and it's really an opportunity to talk about, for First Tee, the kids that are part of First Tee, different career paths that, can tie to sports, but also in IT. And the second part of it is really just a networking event and an opportunity for, young individuals or people who are starting off in their career to, sit in on mock interviews, receive LinkedIn reviews from different AWS employees, and, they're calling it to tee up for interview and career success.
We've talked about the First Tee program for many years on this show, and while it is about golf, the First Tee is about so much more, life lessons, etc. I would imagine this is a perfect example of that, no?
Yeah, it really is. It's, everyone talks in the golf industry about growing the game, and, there really is something to be said for that because, the game of golf really does help, expand, both your horizons as a young individual or someone who's trying to start in a career. It has business implications. It's an opportunity for social outings. There's so much more to golf than just it being a sport, right?
Exactly. You mentioned AWS. People, they hear that, Scott. Tell us more about them. It's pretty cool if you're into technology and stuff.
Yeah, AWS is a big part of the tour, right? I think the biggest thing that they've achieved lately is kind of taking from the tour standpoint, instead of having a trailer full of servers out there, it's now all cloud-based. So the footprint of the tour as they go to these different clubs around the country is much smaller. Also, the cloud computing power really allows them to improve and enhance the real-time insights that can be leveraged for broadcast and different digital experiences. So everything they're doing from the tour all the way to TGL has been really impressive.
I was going to ask you about TGL. I mean, that really took off. Anybody who watched the first season saw how neat it was. What all did you like about it, just as a golf fan in general, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, I would love to go play on that simulator, right? I mean, you're talking a 50-foot screen and actual grass you're hitting off of, a rotating green. I mean, it was really impressive what they pulled together, both from a technology perspective and an experiential perspective. From owning a simulator facility, it's exciting to kind of see like indoor golf take the next step. So I'm excited to see what's in store for season 2 and, look forward to continuing to follow along.
Well, I know the answer to this, Scott, but I'm going to ask it anyways. I mean, that stadium was so cool down there, that the wall, the huge movie theater screen that they were hitting into looked awesome. How different do those machines that calibrate the data there versus the simulators you have there at the fairway? I mean, is that data somewhat similar?
Yeah, I mean, they definitely took a little more a deeper approach, let's say, to calculating the data there. I think, they're not using TrackMan technology. They're using Tiger's full swing technology. And I think they wired up something like 8 to 10 full swings. And don't quote me on that. But I know they definitely wired it up to try to get it to be the most accurate as possible.
All right, Scott, if people want more information or registration information about the event coming up there at the Fairway on May 13th, where can they get that?
Yeah, I'd encourage people to go check out the First Tee of Central Ohio. It's TFTCO is their Instagram handle. Under their profile, there's registration information there, and you can sign up for either the Sports Lab or the networking event.
Last thing before we let you go, tell us about the range passes that you have available there at the Fairway. I know those are very popular.
Yeah, the range pass is awesome. A lot of guys, like I was saying, go out to the range and don't get much out of their session, right? You're just hitting balls. But at the Fairway, you can leverage the TrackMan and really start understanding the data behind your swing and try to improve upon your game there. And, especially here, hyper local, closer to our facility, there's not really a lot of ranges that close. So we offer that opportunity to get more data out of your session, but also within a better proximity.
And again, Scott, if people want some more information about any of the things we hit on here this morning, where would you recommend they go?
Yeah, if you go to thefairwayscolumbus.com, we have a lot of the information on events, the range pass, and other things happening at the facility, and, hope we can see everyone there.
Good deal. Scott Stender, the Fairway Columbus, we appreciate you being part of the show this year. We'll be up there again soon, okay?
I appreciate it, Skip.
On the Range, brought to you by the Fairway Columbus. This is a great day, after all, to go check them out at the Fairway on Henderson Road there in Upper Arlington. All right, coming up, local golf in the news this past week as PGA professional Bob Sowards from Kinsale Golf and Fitness Club qualified for the upcoming PGA Championship at Quail Hallow. Bob earned one of the 20 spots in this week's PGA Professional Championship. We'll talk with him about that next as Tee to Green continues here on The Fan.
We know everything about you. We know you love the Buckeyes. We know you love the Jackets. We know you're wearing a red shirt. I just freaked the hell out of someone. The Fan.
Score a hole-in-one when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union, your CBUS Top Picks Best Credit Union for the past 7 years in a row. Enjoy credit card rates lower than the national average and special rates on balance transfers when you get a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card. For more details, visit bmifcu.org/visa.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more locally grown goodness to life with a farm-fresh selection of crisp vegetables and juicy, ready-to-eat fruit. Whether topping off kebabs on the grill or adding healthy color to a leafy green salad, your family will definitely enjoy the delicious taste of Meijer produce. Plus, you'll appreciate the selection and savings we have to offer. That's the fresh-picked good life, priced for real life. We work hard to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Legend has it, underneath the NJM insurance offices lies a mysterious room of long-forgotten, moldy mascot memorabilia. Often pitched by ad agencies, always rejected by NJM. Is it real? We may never know. But what is real is NJM's dedication to doing what's right for their customers. Astoundingly, they're proud to put policyholders first. No jingles or mascots, just great insurance. Learn more at njm.com.
Insurance underwritten by NJM Insurance Company and its subsidiaries.
Summer 2025 is bringing something wild to your Columbus Zoo. The all-new North America Trek opens this summer, a reimagined zoo region inspired by your national parks. Get ready to get up close with Mexican wolves, black bears, river otters, bald eagles, and more in breathtaking new habitats. Discover local wildlife and conservation in action like never before. Plan your visit today. Visit columbuszoo.org for details.
The Buckeye Show.
The next year or two, you giving him a shot to win it? I am. Devontae Smith wins the Heisman. You can't picture Jeremiah winning it?
I don't see how you couldn't.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by Care Source.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Attention kingdom-seeking business professionals, entrepreneurs, and investors in Columbus. Are you ready to experience a life-changing event that will elevate your faith, finances, and future in 2025? Then you won't want to miss this. Join us for Life Search, featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center for an extraordinary one-day event that will empower you to transform every area of your life through the power of faith. Prepare to be inspired by an incredible lineup of champions, including college football champions Jeremiah Smith and Caleb Downs, three-time national champion head coach Urban Meyer, sportscaster Kirk Herbstreit, two-time national football champion Tim Tebow, and more. These champions have experienced firsthand how faith transforms lives, and they'll be joining Life Search to share their powerful stories and insights on how to integrate faith into your business, finances, and every aspect of your journey. Seats are selling fast to this unforgettable event, so don't wait. Head to LifeSearch.com now to secure your tickets before they're gone. Life Search featuring Champions of Faith, Saturday, May 10th at the Schottenstein Center. Don't miss out. Your transformation begins here. Visit LifeSearch.com today.
Working your way through that honey-do list? That means more flushes, more showers, more fiddling with the thermostat. Trust the pros at the Waterworks with your plumbing and drain cleanings and repairs and all your heating and cooling needs. Our certified pros can repair or replace your furnace or air conditioner. Clogs? Call the Waterworks. Drain cleaning? Call the Waterworks. Plumbing issues? Call the Waterworks. Furnace repairs? Call the Waterworks. The Waterworks. Trusted neighborhood plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling experts.
Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Spring into savings at Ohio Mulch. Get your mulch as easy as ever. Save $50 on home delivery now through Sunday. All you got to do is visit ohiomulch.com today.
Ohio Mulch, landscape supply.
Listen to Financially Fit Radio with Corey Sickles this Saturday morning at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN, covering topics like what you need to know about annuities and how to stay healthy and enjoy retirement. Financially Fit Radio this Saturday at 9 a.m. on 1460 ESPN.
Miss it, Noonan. Miss it. This is Tee to Green with Skip Mosic on The Fan.
All right, welcome back, everybody. If you missed any part of today's show or any of our past episodes, simply download the Tee to Green podcast. Just search Tee to Green wherever you find your podcast and be sure to hit subscribe. All right, earlier this week, local PGA professional Bob Sowards, director of instruction at Kinsale Golf and Fitness Club, claimed one of the 20 spots in the upcoming PGA Championship at the PGA Professional Championship. And Bob joins us right now for a couple of minutes. And I want to say this is number 12 for you doing this, Bob. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm really excited to be going back. It's been a few years, and can't wait to test my game.
Well, Bob, I want to make sure I read this correctly. Does 12 tie a record for qualifying this way for you?
That's correct. That's what I've been told. 12 is the record. Steve Snyder held it and got the tie this year.
So many of your fellow PGA professionals were in the event. I mean, the field was huge, only 20 spots up for grabs. And I know you've done this before, Bob, but how much pressure was there on you the last day to get to the number where you needed to be?
Well, I mean, I started out the week, and I can't hit it any better than I hit it all week. I just putted so bad the first 2 days, and then a buddy of mine gave me a tip on how I normally think when I putt well, and that worked, and I putted really well the last 2 days. And going in the last day, I figured I needed to get to 2 under, so I put a 5 under number in my mind and got to 5, but bogeyed the last hole and somehow slipped in there, so that was good.
I want to say, even with that bogey, still a 68, which was the low round of the day to get yourself in. You kind of alluded to it, Bob, but do you have a number in mind when you go into a final round like that?
Oh yeah, I'm a number guy. I always put a number. Typically, I'm pretty good. I'm within one every time. I'm old, so you call it experience if you want. But yeah, I figured that. I didn't know the wind was going to blow that hard. If I knew it was going to blow that hard, I would have probably put it at 1 under even. But yeah, it was a really difficult day, and the greens just got more and more firm and faster, and by the end, it was a complete grind.
Well, the PGA Championship will be at Quail Hallow, Bob. I know you've played everywhere. Do you have any prior experience down there at Quail Hallow?
I haven't played there. I've played there on the computer simulator, so I'll mix in a few rounds there, but. I'm not getting there till Tuesday night. I skipped my daughter's graduation from high school to play in the senior PGA Championship at Southern Hills and did well. But I'm gonna go to her graduation Saturday and out at Arizona State and Monday, and then fly in Tuesday night to take a practice round Wednesday and kind of get used to the course and tee it up Thursday.
Well, good for you for doing that, Bob. And that will begin a busy couple of weeks stretch for you. You mentioned the seniors. You'll also be playing in the Senior PGA Championship the following week at Congressional. Again, same question about Congressional.
I've played it on the computer, so I know what the holes look like. I don't know. I've never experienced them, though. I know both courses are big. Both courses are ball striker courses, I've been told, so I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I can hit it as well as I did down in Florida and see how I stack up.
You mentioned old Bob. I mean, heck, you're only 56, so great job showing the young bucks that you still have game. Did anybody give you a ribbon saying, take it easy on us, old man?
Oh, yeah, I know a lot of those guys. I've been playing against them for a while, and all my generation guys, had a lot of text messages telling me, asking me how I found the Fountain of Youth and things like that, so it's pretty fun.
Director of Instruction at Kinsale Golf and Fitness Club up there in Powell. How much do you still teach, Bob? I mean, everybody wants to play like Bob. We all want to play like you.
I teach all the time. I'm there 40, 50 hours a week working, and so I'm heading there right now, as a matter of fact, to teach until 8 o'clock, and hopefully making some players better.
PGA professional Bob Sowards. Again, congratulations on qualifying for the PGA Championship now for the 12th time. Play well down at Quail Hallow in a couple of weeks, and then again at Congressional for the Senior PGA, okay?
Hey, thanks, Skip. I appreciate you.
Cool stuff there. Again, to have somebody locally playing both the PGA Championship and the PGA Senior coming up in just a couple of weeks. Thanks to all of our guests this morning. Rod Koch from Titleist, Scott Stender from the Fairways Columbus, SI.com's Gary Van Sickle. Again, if you missed any part of the show or any of our past episodes, simply download the Tee to Green podcast. Search Tee to Green wherever you find your podcast, and be sure to hit that subscribe button. So again, thanks to everybody for hopping on this morning. That'll put a wrap on this week's show. Next week we'll be at Muirfield Village. Lots of Memorial Tournament news to tell you all about. That's coming up next Saturday morning at 9 o'clock. Fan Sports Saturday comes your way next. Reds baseball later today against the Nationals. For Jacob Reimer, I'm Skip Mosic. As always, thanks for listening. Enjoy the golf this weekend. We will talk to you again next Saturday morning for another edition of Tee to Green right here on The Fan.
In church next Sunday to save me from those double bogey blues.
One, two, three. Here at The Fan is always football o'clock. Proud to be your home of the Buckeyes, Browns, and all the NFL games you can handle. The Fan.
Let's go to the floor with some late-breaking developments on the markets. Jim?
Up things are down, down things are up.
Sounds like things
You don't understand. Right is left, lemons are sweet, spaghetti is cold, the milk is warm.
Okay, but are you seeing anything that maybe smart-minded money people should know about?
Yeah. Apex Pros.
The pros who knows?
Probably one of the most stable things you can do is an Apex Pros air conditioner tune-up.
Air conditioner tune-ups, you say?
Oh, yeah. Apex Pros knows most expensive summer breakdowns can be prevented by getting a tune-up now.
Yes, it's known that a tuned-up AC lowers energy bills, which is important to...
Oh, this is unbelievable.
What, big sell-off? Huge increase?
No, I spilled coffee on my new shirt. Anyway, tune-up save on energy bills, plus make your air conditioner last years longer.
Good to know Apex Pros keeps things stable and predictable.
That's on my pants, too. This is the worst day. This is historic. You know that.
No doubt about it. Columbus loves Apex Pros. The pros who knows. ApexPros.com.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
This date, May 3rd, was a Saturday in 1975. It was the NBC Game of the Week, and the Reds were on versus Atlanta from Riverfront Stadium. And when the lineups were announced, many fans must have been surprised. For starting at third base was Pete Rose. Pete had been an outfielder for the past 8 years, but the Reds, heavily favored to win the pennant in 75, were struggling. And manager Sparky Anderson wanted to shore up his third base position and find a regular spot for outfielder George Foster. When Pete agreed to move to third, Sparky solved both problems, and the rest is history. The Big Red Machine soared to its first World Championship on the back of Pete's historic move to third base. This May 3rd, 1975, this date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Hey, it's Anthony from my friends at Germain Honda of Dublin. And Rich and his team are ready to get you in a great new Honda this spring. Purchase or lease. He's going to make you feel awesome about your next vehicle and your experience. Grab a hold of this one, a 2025 Honda Accord Hybrid Sport. Lease it for only $347 a month for 36 months, 30,000 miles, and only $19.99 down. He's got rates as low as 2.9%. Germain Honda of Dublin on Sawmill Road, just south of 270.
We've discovered the perfect morning ritual, the 2 for $6 breakfast sandwich deal at Tim Hortons. Every sandwich is made to order with a freshly cracked egg and melty cheese, just the way breakfast should be. Choose between savory sausage or hickory smoked bacon, served on a toasted English muffin or flaky biscuit. There's no wrong way to mix and match this tasty deal. 2 breakfast sandwiches, just $6. Perfect. Only at your neighborhood Tim Hortons. At participating U.S. restaurants, single item at regular menu price. Modifications and tax extra. Exclusions and additional terms apply.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Sick of the long security lines and flight delays? Travel on your terms. Go RVing and get ready to save at RCD RV's Open House. From May 3rd through the 10th, take advantage of huge deals on new and pre-owned RVs. Our Delaware, Heath, and Pataska locations will feature exclusive sale pricing on all new and pre-owned travel trailers, fifth wheels, motorhomes with special financing rates available, plus discounts on camping accessories. Come by today. We'll have your road ready by Memorial Day. Find unbeatable savings, unforgettable fun, and everything you need to hit the road at rcdrv.com.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Nia.
Hi, Nia. It's Jennifer. Did you know that Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Yeah, I work here.
Okay. I was just double checking. Get it?
Because Discover automatically doubles all the cash back you've earned at the end of your first year?
Oh, you get me, Nia.
You could say that I double get you.
I guess we've taken it too far.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Well, these polymers aren't as flexible as batch K3.
Researcher Laurie is stretched thin.
Did you get the vulcanization analytics from V66? Wait, are these rubber scores from last week?
She needs to hire new lab technicians so she can bounce back into her old self.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Our matching platform lets you spend less time searching and more time connecting with candidates. Redeem your $75 credit at Indeed.com/credit. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey Sports Cards fans, I'm Jeff with my buddy Adam, and we run Huggy Kissy Bear breaks on the Whatnot app. What's a card break? Simple. We open boxes of cards live, you pick your team, and we send you all the hits. With over 2,300 5-star reviews, we're all about you. New to card breaks? No sweat. We've got you covered with a sweet welcome package from us. Download the Whatnot app and follow us on Instagram and TikTok to view all of our past Sugar Bear hits. Huggy Kissy Bear breaks, where collectors win big.